I have completely turned the peaceful game of Minecraft into the hellish trench wars of Battlefield 1, including the tanks, guns, planes, gas, and so much more. But to understand how we got here, we have to go back a few days. While playing the Battlefield 1 tutorial, one question popped into my head. Is it even possible to turn Minecraft into something like this?
And in war, the only true equalizer is death.
Because, as you probably know, Battlefield 1 is known as one of the most cinematic and immersive shooters of all time. And well, Minecraft is... Therefore, I had to make a plan. I divided this massive project into 3 steps. Step 1. Adding the actual fun stuff. The tanks, planes and guns. Step 2. Overhauling the entire vibe. The map, textures, atmosphere and sounds. Step 3. Conveying all of this into a massive, working conquest game mode and putting it to the test. By the way, I am giving away $250. The only thing you have to do to have a chance of winning is like, subscribe and write a cool comment. Alright, let's go back to the video. Step 1. The arsenal. I scrolled for hours looking for WW1 tanks and found absolutely nothing. The only option was building them myself from scratch using the crate mod. And knowing my lazy ass, that was not happening. I had 3 options. 1. Pay someone to code it. 2. Learn to code myself. Or 3. Give up. And after some thinking, I went with option 1. I hopped into a Discord server and found a guy, handed him $50 and told him to make me 2 specific tanks. The first one was the German A7V, which is basically just a giant, angry box of metal. Seriously, look at this thing. I have no idea how it was even functional in World War I, but apparently it was. It's like someone just slapped tracks on a shipping container and called it a day. The second tank was the Mark IV, and 2 weeks later, he actually delivered this. For the uniforms, I decided to be brave and try option 2, make them myself. I downloaded Blockbench, which is basically Blender for Minecraft. After a few hours of pushing blocks around, the 3D model looked pretty decent. But then I tried to texture it and quickly realized my artistic skills are roughly on a level with an elephant. So I went back to Discord and paid another guy $25 to texture it for me. I repeated this for the British side and honestly, they look incredible. Now, you might be wondering why I installed a medieval mod like Epic Knights for a WW1 game. Well, in World War I, soldiers got creative and used clunky metal body armor, also known as lobster armor. This medieval mod adds exactly that, and it's going to be perfect for the elite kids later. Planes were way too complex to code, but a friend of mine had a genius idea. Just take a good plane model and animate it to endlessly fly in circles above the map. From the ground, it literally looks like an intense dogfight. Peak illusion. With the heavy machinery sorted, I needed the weapons. The problem? Minecraft 1.20 doesn't exactly have a massive World War I modding community. The absolute best gun mod out there is tacz, but that's strictly for Modern Warfare. Or is it? Because to fix this, I had to install 2 very specific add-ons, Apocalypse and Gunpowder Revolution. Equally important are the gadgets. I installed Trench Tactics add-on, which gave me the period accurate shovels, trench clubs and grenades. But Battlefield also has those iconic flare guns that summon artillery strikes. And after some heavy research, I stumbled upon the perfect tool, artillery support. You throw the flare and the sky just rains absolute fire. To make it feel more tactical, I insert tactical movement for leaning and tactical dust for the bullet impacts, and with that, the arsenal was ready. Step 2. The vibe. I wanted the dark, terrifying style you see on maps like Best Shandal. So, for realistic raindrops, ripples and mud splashes, I installed particle rain. In Battlefield, the region is heavily limited by smoke and lightning. To recreate this effect, I used Forklift's Modern Now combined with better clouds to get rid of that blocky Minecraft sky, textures and immersion. But the default 60x60 Minecraft texture still looked horrible. fix this, I covered a few texture effects. The most important one was dark atmosphere and dreadful skies, which completely changed the lighting. A massive part of Battlefield's immersion is the camera movement. You need screen shake, mud, and blood splashing into your eyes. Minecraft has none of that. So to make it feel like an actual GoPro WAV footage, I installed enhanced visuals and camera overhaul. Since my building skills are basically non-existent, I did some digging and quickly found an absolute masterpiece by the user of ThreadMC Waffle. It's a perfect replica of the iconic Giant Quaint's car, featuring the destroyed city and the classic windmills. There was just one tiny problem. These massive, static airships were completely blocking the sky, nothing a little world edit couldn't obliterate. To make the trenches feel like an actual death trap, I installed a few decorative mods. For barbed wire and the fences, I used Markov's fences. And to fill the sky with thick, dark smoke, I used Scooty's chinemies? I don't know. But there was still one critical thing missing that makes Battlefield 1 so special.
Un assaltatore!
Exactly. For the sounds, I completely overhauled the audio engine using 4 different mods. We got ambient sounds, present footsteps mod for mod, and sound physics remastered for its terrifying echoes in the trenches, and last but not least, gunfire overhaul. Just listen to the difference these mods make, it's just insane. Finally, I went deep into the game files and completely replaced the weird Minecraft damage noises with the actual Battlefield 1 screams I ripped from YouTube. And this is how the final map turned out. Step 3. The system. The last step was making the game actually playable. But first I needed to change the style, because I don't know about you, but I really hate the Minecraft UI. So I installed a bunch of mods to completely fix this. I used RPG Hard to change the health bar to a modern percentage based look and moved it to the bottom right. I also used it to completely delete the hunger bar and everything else that was unnecessary. Then I added Suarez minimap to the bottom left, which I customized to look exactly like the Battlefield radar. Next, I used fancy menus and a resource pack to overhaul the home screen and buttons to make them look less like stones and more modern. In Battlefield 1, dying is an experience. You see a ragdoll, the screen fades, and you go to a tactical map to deploy. Using the physics mod, the third person death effect, and some crazy QB cheese scripts, I tried to completely recreate this. For the deploy menu, I added a screenshot of the map and used fancy menu to replace the buttons above it, so you can actually click on the map to spawn at your team's captured points. Now for the absolute hardest part, compiling everything into a working game mode. I wanted the classic Battlefield Conquest mode, but there was no mod for that. So my dumb ass had to use comment blocks. After watching a painful amount of tutorials, I probably placed over 100 of them. I will spare you the nerd stuff, but here's how the game works. German Empire versus British Empire. It's a massive tug of war. You capture enemy flags to drain their tickets. Each team starts with 1,000 tickets, and when you hit 0, you lose. And the best part, the spawn logic automatically deploys you right next to the action. With the system running, I needed the classes. I made specific kits for the medic, scout, assault and support using the guns we installed earlier and made it so you could select them in the deploy menu. To really ramp things up, I added the elite kits. I hid barrels across the map that give you 4 specific loadouts: the sentry, lobster armor and a massive MG, the tanker, a giant gun that just one-hits everything, the flame trooper, basically you turn into hands and get the Flammenwerfer, and finally the grenade launcher for calling artillery and clearing trenches. I also added Battlefield's most iconic features, gas and artillery. The artillery is just comment blocks bombarding a 40 block radius, and for the gas, I spawned a massive poison cloud and slapped a custom texture pack on it so it actually looks like a deadly chemical fog. To make the game alive, you need players. Since I have 0 friends, I used a simple enemy mod. This let me spawn custom AI troops. I gave them our WW1 loadouts, maximized their aggro range and swapped their files with actual German voice lines. The stage was set. So at this point, I had spent roughly $100 on commissions, learned how to use Blockbench and Cube GC, searched days for the right mod packs and placed dozens of common blocks. But there was one massive problem. I hadn't actually tested it yet. Despite spending almost 90 hours on this project, installing over 80 mods, and messing with all of their config files, I had no idea if my PC was just going to crash the second I hit play. It was time to load up the world, deploy into the trenches, and find out. By the way, if you want to play this mod pack, make sure to join my Discord server. The link is in the description. And there's also something different coming up the next few months, which will be insanely special, and I want every one of you to be a part of it. So make sure to join it down below and be part of a massive project. Anyways, thanks for watching.